What up?
What up, everybody?
Yeah, welcome back to the Symposium podcast.
Hope you missed us.
Hopefully, eh? Yeah, man, we're trying to deliver as consistent as we can.
Yeah, man. Let's
You know?
keep it rolling.
Yeah, but today, we just decided to talk about something different, me and you know.
Just go into our net cave.
Yeah, now today, I think the net should be happy about this
man.
one too, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so
all those readers, we are here for you.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them. So, what other books did you like? How many books have you written? Have you read, man? Sorry.
Oh, written.
Not written.
Not yet.
Yeah,
written. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, Joe.
Yeah.
I haven't really been keeping count, but I try to read regularly.
Yeah. So
whenever I have time to read something, I do it.
What sort of material? Because let me before you even started reading.
Sure.
What sort of material? What inspired you to start reading?
Okay. I didn't used to like reading.
Yeah.
Because I thought in order to read, you have to read novels and stuff.
Yeah,
and I wasn't really into novels.
Yeah.
So I didn't really read.
Yeah.
Until I started trying to... What was the first book that I really read? I think it was... Nah. Okay, I don't count those books from
school.
Scale. I don't count
you were
those
forced.
ones. Yeah, those ones you have to.
You
don't really like some of them.
So what did you read?
I think the first book that I really read was it?
How can you forget your first?
I wasn't even thinking about it. I think Begui 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
Remember that book?
No, I have never read it.
It's a self-help book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was going on your mind on that time?
Joe, I don't even remember what the book was about.
Yeah.
But it was basically self-improvement. Man, you know self-improvement books, they all sound the same.
Yeah.
They all tell you to do the same things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think that was the first thing I read.
Yeah.
And what was pushing me was, I want to change my life.
Oh, okay.
So
what was going
some
on?
Motivation
because obviously,
read.
definitely, in order for you to start picking up a book and read, there's some sort of psychology that goes behind that.
Yeah, you start thinking, I'm actually lazy, as I need to start changing things in my life. How do I become successful? You know those questions you have when you're 19,
obviously,
20?
Yeah,
those
they're the
try
ones
to
that
push
DJ tell you, I must read.
let me try reading.
Yeah.
Successful people read.
Yeah.
So let me try reading.
Bill Gates read how many books a year? 52.
Like 52 books.
Imagine. So a week he finishes a book. Imagine it.
Which is, for me, that's not reasonable.
Yeah, that's too much.
It's too quick.
Yeah, and does he even take time to regurgitate the information?
I don't know, Joe.
Because
what book drew you in?
Yeah, the first book that ever drew me into reading, I think I was doing second year.
Uh-huh.
So second year I went to a library with this friend of mine. Then I've heard about Coelho.
Oh, okay.
The Alchemist.
Oh, yeah.
So I've heard about the book, but I couldn't get the book at the library. So I found a book called The Aleph.
Oh.
Aleph, I think it's Aleph.
Okay.
Yeah, the book, and then I started reading the guy. So the guy, he's amazing. He's amazing.
You're one of those people that reads an author. Like you try to get as much from the author as possible.
Definitely, because I think I read 4 of his books. I read, is it 4? Is it Aleph, The Alchemist, Brida? I read there's a here.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Okay.
And then A Pilgrimage, I haven't finished it.
Oh.
So it's almost 5 books from the same author.
Oh.
And
I think you read more than me.
Yeah, definitely.
You probably read more than me.
Yeah, and some books I read, and then obviously after I've established this is obviously he produces the content that I'm familiar
that
with. That I like, because he was an author for me. I was like, this guy writes very well, and the usage of language, it was dope. It was very good. Then I started going for business wise. I went for Simon Sinek.
Oh, okay.
After I had him having a conversation with
George.
What?
I think I'm lying.
Yeah.
The first book I read was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
What?
Yeah. I think I was doing second year as well.
People are enjoying that book, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't even remember what I was saying. Most of these books, I don't remember what they say.
I have I get the concept.
Now I take notes, but back then I used
to take notes, but it takes longer for me to finish a book.
I take notes when it's a book that is really different from what I've been reading, and I think I can get a lot from. Yeah, because then I take notes.
In Paulo when I was reading him,
sure.
On the first book that I read, Brida, it's about a lady. I think she was trying to find his spirituality, something of that sort. And then on another book, there's he was being helped to find himself. He had a woman like helped him to find himself, Yeah, that was awesome. And then the Alchemist was about finding the treasure.
What type of are they novels?
Yeah, novels. They're novels. But no, it's not like because I remember I used to read thriller as well. Patricia Cornwell. I'm naming these authors as if like my friends.
Hey, Joe, this guy. Patricia, I don't even remember some of these authors.
I remember them, because they're good. Because Patricia, my dad used to bring me books as well. So I'm not a fan of a thriller. So my dad gave me a book one day, and I was like, let me try it. And I remember, Dr. Carpenter. It's also by Patricia Cornwell, and it's about like thriller. It's those when post-mortem, like when you dissect people. Who's that guy? Jack the Ripper kind of vibe. And they got me into books, and then obviously I developed, went into business, I went into science now. I was reading this other guy. Who's this? I want to read the God Particle though. Yeah, I want to read the God Particle, and probably it will give me more of scientific evidence or something of the sort.
Sure.
But I think the most important book I've ever read, Why We Sleep by who's this guy?
Oh yeah, I know the guy. Yeah, I was actually listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
Who got Joe Rogan where he was talking. What's his name?
Matthew Walker.
Matthew Walker. Yeah,
the first time
he knows a lot, Joe. He knows a lot.
I'm telling you. Yes, I read the book.
After I listened to him, I was like, I'm going to sleep now.
That's what I did. It's like 8 hours is essential.
Yeah, it was like 6 hours
six and above. Yeah, 6
and
above.
Enough. That's the bare minimum.
And the guy was like, like, because when I was reading the book, and then I start envisioning things like when you move to a different time zone, your body has to readjust to that time zone.
And
he says for each and every hour
how to readjust. How do you?
He says in each and every hour, and each and every hour you are that side. Oh no, let's say it's 8 hours difference.
Sure.
So for each day, you're adjusting with an hour.
Until
you are satisfied to be part of that time zone.
Okay.
So
he says a lot of very important stuff.
Yeah.
The biggest one for me was the effect of lack of sleep on your chances of getting cancer.
And also it says as much as it takes time, but most people die. Most roads accidents are caused by people who
more than drinking alcohol.
More than drinking alcohol actually.
Sure. I was blown away. Joe.
Yeah, that guy really writes because
I haven't read the book because I only listened to the podcast. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I'm gonna read him, but I can't read that because I'm busy with a big reading project.
Yeah. You have to read. You have to read. How's that going, by the way? How's that going?
It's going fine. I think it's fun, but I'm interested in doing it. So for those who don't know, I'm reading history. I'm trying to find South African history and put it together. So I'm reading a lot of history, man. South African history books. Just to get an idea of what this place was before we even got here.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Come in, my guy. Come in. Come in, Baba.
There's someone outside.
Yeah, come in. We're recording, Baba. We're recording. We want a session.
So Spura is coming through right now.
Yeah, it's another episode, my guy. Man. And your mic is ready, by the way.
Let me just give him a mic.
So welcome back, Spoon.
So we are recording, Joe. We are talking about reading.
Yeah,
books that we read, how we read.
Yeah.
And what people should do to get used to reading and stuff like that.
Yeah. And before we actually recorded the first episode, we were talking, me and Sbu, and he told me how he is struggling to read nowadays. Yeah, because of his type of job, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously he has a background on reading.
It's a struggle, especially more busy to get time for reading is something else, man. True. But yeah.
So what type of books did you read when you were growing up? Yeah,
I used to read a lot of motivational business related and
self-help.
Your Richard Branson, how to make it in
yeah. I was just saying the first one I read was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I also read it. Yeah. But I don't know. I think growing up made me realize that when it comes to books, you should be careful what kind of books.
What kind of books you read,
because they can either like shape you or they can destroy you. As
well.
I have a friend. And it's to do with Rich Dad. I've noticed that most books, like I wouldn't really encourage people to read books, especially from like outside of SA. The reason why I'm saying that is because, for example, Donald Trump. I know Trump, the businessman, the president.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy has been a successful businessman.
Sure.
Okay, so here you are, a young South African from Elokshini, and you're trying to make it, right? So you want to make it into business, so you read Trump, right? But then when you start reading the book, okay, fine, he has so many businesses. Now, first page, he's like, so how I started my business is my dad gave me a loan of 1 million.
Imagine.
Already it cuts you out.
Yeah, really. You're not
disqualified.
Your dad is not gonna give you $1 million.
Not even your dad, not even the bank. No
one's gonna give you that much cash.
So I think the reason I'm saying that books from outside, they tend to
especially
business books,
business stuff,
business
financial stuff,
even personal. Because personal, you know what I'm saying? Even personal, we can't relate, bro.
Yeah, as fun.
So many things.
Yeah.
Like
as fun.
Someone can be advising you, okay, if you wanna make it, you should do this. No. But
lose your friends.
It's not practical. Oh yeah, lose your friends.
In fact, now that I've read a couple of books, I'm very careful about books that give you advice in general, South African or not. I try to make sure that the books that give me advice are more I don't want someone to give me advice, Joe.
Yeah.
Explain a principle.
Okay.
Explain something that is universal. That I can see applying not only in one situation even. Like a way of thinking. That's more stuff that I would actually read.
That's basically what I'm into mostly. That's why like when I read the likes of Matthew Walker, PhD.
Oh yeah, that's practical stuff because we all sleep.
We do sleep.
So you have to listen to what he says about sleep.
And because he also done my experiment when it comes to those sleep.
Yeah.
Because he did study students and he tells you how many hours students do sleep and how effective.
How does that affect your performance?
So
stuff like that. Yeah.
And then when I read Simon Sinek, he's from London. He's from London, so he talks about business and he's been like in the industry. He does talks in those companies, these huge companies. Your Microsoft. He did on Motorola.
Sure.
And then on the iPhone, who's this guy?
Okay.
Apple.
Yeah, he did talk there, So every now and then he does find differences in their business models.
Sure.
Because obviously, Apple has its own product and how they push it. In Motorola and in Microsoft, they had their own. So in one of the books, I think, what's the book? There are 3 books. Why Leaders Eat or whatever, Eat Last. And then there's Why Something.
I think I've heard that title somewhere.
Yeah,
Why Leaders Eat Last.
Yeah, in that book, the one I was reading, I think it's The Infinite Game.
Okay.
Infinite Game.
That's a nice title.
Especially for business, because business is not just a quick thing. It's a win or lose. It's not like a soccer match.
Takes a lot.
It's a process. So when he talks about that, he says he also made an example with why Microsoft collapsed, because Microsoft at that time was competing with, because remember Microsoft was big, bro.
Yeah, it was big.
And he said in Microsoft the only problem it struggled because it was competing with Apple.
Apple, yeah.
When Apple released, I think there was something they released Microsoft. That was the best. But in marketing, was bad.
Okay, marketing. Yeah.
And the business, the business leaders, the CEOs, they were focusing on getting better than Apple, other than mastering their business model.
So back to books, for someone who's not used to reading, what would you guys recommend? Like, how do I start reading? Let's say I struggle to read. What do I start? Where do I start?
That's a very good question. The best way, I started reading I started attaining knowledge, a lot of it from newspapers.
Sure.
Like a simple newspaper, like you're talking about Nhlambe, like Davidson News. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You being able to read and actually comprehend something. You know
what I mean? And I think because it's important.
You could be reading stuff about, I don't know, like PPE or
sanitizer.
You don't even
even if it's stuff that you don't really care about. That sense of, number one, it's short. You feel like you did something when you finish reading that thing.
You know, that's one thing. What I wanted to say, Guti. When it comes to reading, okay, my train of thought.
But I'd say the best way, start reading newspapers because you get used to finishing a short, section. Start building up, and then you can read a whole book.
At the end of the day, guys, all of us started at church. So if we say the book, the first time we started reading was the Bible. I remember at Sunday school we had to recite verses from the scripture. That was when I was like,
but the scripture is a bit different because it's a big book, but you normally go to scripture for short passages.
Just for
short passages.
And in most cases, I think.
Even when you talk about, you just highlighted scripture now. Personally, I'd had my experience with the scripture and reading. Like obviously, that's where we started reciting Bible verses. But most of it was just reading and purely like pronunciation.
Sure.
As opposed to understanding. I feel like
definitely.
I feel like I'm a Hubo 121 and all those stuff. I started understanding now.
What does this mean? I can give the scripture a lot of credit, especially isiZulu. Like I know isiZulu the way I do because of scripture. Because some of the vocabulary must specifically scale like grade 12. I'm like, I know these words from the Bible. I know what they mean. So you grand. But for comprehension,
I think for comprehension you have to read the entire passage. For me, that's when I started understanding some of the what you call some of the events that happened in the Bible. I had to start reading from the beginning and go with it. You know, in order for me to start understanding the 12 Israelites, the difference in them, I had to read from the beginning and go with it. You know.
And then fiction. Do you guys read fiction?
One book I read, fiction. No, fiction I preferred Guma comic books.
Okay.
Yeah, like
wait, guys. For someone who's from the township doesn't know what fiction is, could you maybe like explain what
elaborate?
Basic examples of fiction are novels.
Okay.
Stuff that is not true, based on true stories.
The wife, the books that are on Facebook.
Yeah, like Abu, the one I read. One book I read that I really enjoyed, actually, trilogy The Hunger Games.
Okay.
Very fun. Before reading Hunger Games, I was like, nah, fiction a manga. I'm not gonna read a manga.
Okay.
When I read that book, I was like,
powerful, you know.
This stuff is crazy. And there's actual stuff that is relatable to real life. It makes you think about, because the whole concept was. He was trying to look at, so it was a different world, completely different, with a different government system. And then it takes, you start thinking about lessons from the book and like, Mara, this is what the government is actually doing. It makes you think about stuff.
Which brings me closer to a book. Well, books that I know. Animal Farm and
1984 by the same guy,
George Orwell.
I feel like when you talk about relating, I feel like that's important aspect to keeping someone relating.
The fact thing is,
do you remember the book that was written by this girl, Jackie Pamoto?
He
was talking about
Bear.
He was talking about the whole lifestyle of Blessy and stuff. And a lot of girls who have never read books were reading that book. Because they were trying to relate.
Relatable.
It's relatable.
So especially of kids that let's say that glamorize in
Exactly.
You know, because there are people who are like,
I didn't read that.
and whatnot. I've never read the book. I've read.
I read a few sections.
I think
quite relatable.
I think I understand, because obviously most people do talk about that book, even on social platforms. And talk about
a lot of girls read that book.
A lot of
obviously they had to know.
People who don't even read.
People who don't read. I'm like, I'm seeing statuses. I'm like, so you read now.
It's important. So at some point in your life, you read something.
Yeah, true.
And it that's why you should in the first episode, the thing that you read, what's happening? The thing that you read, it guys some certain idea.
True.
You know. So basically, there's no original idea that is out there. It's an idea that it's an idea that was pregnant by another idea.
Okay.
And then it
So
ended up
ideas come from other ideas.
Ideas.
Basically.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. But another thing that I feel like that makes people read more often is if you read about something that you love.
Yeah.
You love reading.
Definitely, because
I have a younger brother who's like 9 years old.
Yeah.
And making him read school stuff is difficult.
Yeah.
But then if he likes like soccer, you know what I mean?
Super
I
So
know.
if I'm gonna like give him like an article that talks about Mhlambe, like Kaizer Chiefs, he's gonna read the whole article.
Yeah.
And even translate to me. Okay. I see he's so excited.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I feel like
fun.
for
but
adults,
now
the
I'm
same
gonna
thing
change.
applies for adults as
Yeah,
well.
now
if
I'm
you
gonna
wanna make
change.
someone read.
Now I'm gonna change the entire conversation. You see the thing of reading. It articulates. Hey, Kamil G.
Yeah. Is it articulate?
Like it also represents your like your thought process.
Okay.
Because let's say Joe Bushut, your brother is into soccer. I know that. And when he reads something about soccer, he gets all excited. So I think as I'm a parent or as I'm a big brothers, that's a market we should exploit, because we know that he likes soccer, he reads about soccer. Maybe he should be a soccer player.
Yeah, I think for the longest time that is why I used to struggle with reading, because I was trying to force myself to read stuff that I'm not interested in.
Oh yeah.
Like I know I should be reading.
Yeah.
I don't like this, but I have to force myself to read
I
it.
came into reading. The reason why I started reading too much was I had this idea. Guti, the more you read, the more you understand English better.
Yeah,
in terms
the
of
words,
like,
vocabulary.
Okay, you do, but not English better in terms of like speaking.
Sure.
The more you read,
you
the more you
much
speak,
better,
speak fluently.
But it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
That's when I'm saying that. I know people that are really smart.
Yeah.
They read books, but they can't speak English.
Sure.
They've read a lot of books, but they can't.
And I know
like
people who don't read at all, and they're very
fluent
articulate.
in
so
English.
it comes to the conclusion that more of you speaking a language, any language, is the physical part of it. Like if you hear people speak it more often, that's where
it's the environment.
You know what I mean? The environment, yeah.
But definitely. I think I remember at school I had a similar struggle. I used to speak fluent English, but when it came to writing, it was a different story. Because
so you didn't acquire the vocab.
Yeah, I didn't.
Side of
and
it.
the only reason I was only fluent in English is because I stayed in an environment where people were speaking English. So to me, like speaking, it wasn't the same as I can speak.
Reading
it's
is
fine,
not the same,
but writing now, like putting the words
different.
obviously you have to get the correct spelling.
Now you have to think about grammar.
And then you have to use your sentence correctly.
And
then that's when now, obviously now people know me. Is this guy that writes and it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
How's the writing journey, by the way?
For me, the writing journey, it's not easy, because obviously I have to acquire more information than my reader. As much as the reader could know more about certain things, but I feel like I should know more
about it,
about the subject that I want to talk about.
And then, what forms the source of you writing? Do you like read other things, or do you take people's stories?
No, I read. Let's say you have a book. I'm gonna read your book
and then summarize.
Let's say, I'm not gonna summarize your book. I'm gonna read your book, and then obviously I have the knowledge, and I've seen how you use your language.
Okay.
And then obviously I'm gonna develop the language. I might take your structure of writing, not that I'm taking your words, or I might take your structure of writing, like your sentence structure, your commas, that the art, the craft, and then I take that. I write my own story, but in a similar, that framework.
So it's safe to say you can express yourself better by writing. Basically.
Yeah, by writing, I think that's much better.
I don't know, how is it with you? Like, how do you express?
He's a musician. Give him a keyboard.
You express yourself through music, basically.
Yeah, and I do write.
Okay.
But for myself most of the time.
For yourself?
I find writing to be very useful for thinking.
Okay.
When I want to think about something, whether it's a concept that I just came across or something I read from a book, I try to write about it just to see
if you understand
how I'm trying to talk to myself by writing. So I'm trying to lay the ideas. Can I lay it correctly? Can I explain it to myself better?
Wow.
That was the first time, like when I started my blog back in 2018.
It's been a while. You've been in the game. You've been in the game.
3 years.
I think it's 5 now, 6. I don't know. But the thing is, when I started writing, I wanted to be heard, because obviously I had ideas, I had thoughts. So podcast and the blog, they go hand in hand, because now I can just talk. I can just put it on the mic and everyone could listen to it. But when I was writing it, people would read. Yes, I had a good following, I'd say. I had good people that were following and
commenting.
Yeah, and you're one of them, and you'd also bring in a different point of view from what I've written about, of which it makes me think as well, because I have to respond to the comment, and it's been challenging though. It's been really challenging.
Yeah, but I think as much as speaking, writing is also, it's very challenging, especially to your confidence. Like, am I fit enough to write?
Futi also with writing, the speed. If you compare the speed of you thinking and the speed of you writing, you can think of like 10 different things right now in 1 minute. But writing it is just a difficult thought, you know what I mean?
And speaking is faster than
it's
writing.
Very fast. And you lose your train of thought, you know what I mean? I used to see when I wrote my essays back in high school. And you have this idea, but it's running in your mind. You have so many things to say, but you know what I mean? Like writing it down.
I think there's an author. Was it an author? I think it was Simon Sinek. He was talking to George. He was saying, I've heard, like, he has experience with shitty authors. Like when someone just records something and then they get someone to just type everything that they just spoken. Okay. He said that's shitty. Okay. Because at the end of the day, you have to do some research. When it comes to writing, you can't just have a thought and just record it and then type that thing out and publish it and say it's a book. That's probably the shittiest book ever.
I think that's one problem as well with reading. Like finding the right stuff to read. Like, how do you know that I'm not wasting my time with this book?
Oh yeah. How do you know that you're not wasting your time? Yeah, which actually brings me to my next question. When you're writing a book, I feel like some books lose, especially if it's a story of someone. Yeah. They normally lose their, what's this English word? Authenticity. Because if, for example, I can't speak or write English, right? Let's say I can't speak or write English, and right? I have a story to tell. The way I tell it, it's okay. This is what I used to do. This is what I do. This is how I wake up and stuff. And then I get you, Vuyo, who's educated to write me the story. Yeah. In a way, I feel like you are writing the story
from my perspective,
from your perspective, in your grammatical arrangement, and all those kind of things.
So I'm not telling your story.
No longer the same story.
It's not as raw as you bring it.
Through my
you know what I mean? Like I'd describe Mhlambe an experience whereby I saw someone being beaten up. Like is like mob justice. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to me, I'm describing it bare. And then when I just gonna use one big English word, it was terrible. You know what I mean?
And then I'm done.
and then you're done. So the reader doesn't necessarily understand what terrible
and he doesn't get the picture, because I think as an author, you should be able to paint a picture. It's like art. Exactly. You have to paint a picture. So in fact, that's what one thing I liked about, I think, who's this guy? Coelho. He says he doesn't want to release movies about his books. He wants the writer, the reader to envision everything that is written through the words. That's why he doesn't turn some of his books into movies.
Have any of you read Harry Potter? That's the only thing I used
to read Harry Potter.
And how do you feel about the book versus the movies?
I feel like it's more nice when you when you watch the movie first.
Serious?
I'm telling you, I feel like.
Is it the same as Game of Thrones? Because now
I don't know. Game of Thrones.
But in Hunger Games, I felt like the movie did not do justice.
Yeah,
really?
I think
also,
it's the same
you read the book first.
I read the book before watching the movie.
That's
I was
the
like,
same thing.
No, the movie is not the same.
Yeah, I feel like it killed your expectation, because the book.
You
saw,
I already had pictures in my head, because this person is describing how Peter looks like. And I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this guy is not Peter. This is not Peter.
It's the same thing that they said. I think I met a guy who read the Game of Thrones. And that book was huge. I was like, I want to read it, but no, this is not for me.
But do you guys think that a formal book, when it's written, is it effective? I feel like if we look at the South African context, of us writing, it's difficult sometimes. When you say something in Zulu and then you try and put it in English.
Yeah.
And it's probably it's probably sometimes I don't know, they call it the interjections. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Lento yoguthi yay. You know what I mean?
So-
How do you-
Oh,
how do you-
yeah.
which is-
Ah.
you can't put that in a
it
Harry
makes
Potter
your language
book.
Yeah,
richer,
You know what I mean?
isiZulu, yeah,
I feel like-
but
I
you
feel like
can't do that.
Someone wrote, some guy on Facebook wrote, yoguthi, he won't take Abuma like Mr. Price and all those kind of people
Yeah.
because he owes Abu Mr. Price Makams.
Yeah.
He was saying that he's not gonna take it serious until they start typing in isiZulu ukuthi endwa singacabana phela.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Wow.
I feel like
Yeah.
this, in English when you say please pay
Yeah, I know. Please pay
But
urgently.
it-
Otherwise, it's gonna blackmail.
The problem,
blacklist you.
gents, into a language is a problem, Joe, because I feel like English as a language, okay, Tina, we are more comfortable with our home language. Okay,
Yeah.
me in a personal,
Definitely.
I'm very much more comfortable ngesizulu compared to English.
Okay.
When
But-
it comes to what?
Expressing
Speaking.
myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Because of my interjections, like you was saying,
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like there are nuances in the language
Sure.
that help
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Sure.
express
Sure.
yourself.
Obviously, in the sound of
But
yeah.
formally, isiZulu compared to English, it doesn't stand a chance, Joe. English has a
Yeah.
bigger vocabulary. There's a
Usage
lot
of
more.
words,
There are a lot more. There are many more tools to
True.
express your story,
Yeah.
which is, I think, why we don't see a lot of writings in our home languages.
No, now
Because the
Kwana, do
languages
we
are not
even have
grown
author?
enough.
Do we even we do have enough
We
authors?
do,
Like,
but
We do, but hey,
it's-
I recently read.
even the readers, we don't have readers who read in isiZulu.
isiZulu, ne?
I recently read. I was sending. We do have a lot of authors, but
Yeah.
there's so many barriers to entry into the reading
Oh,
industry.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
publishing a book, getting someone to edit it, getting
Yeah.
a publishing company to produce it. It's a lot of
It's
work.
Yeah, because
Most
you have to
black
produce
people-
a manuscript,
Yo,
and the
it's a
manuscript
lot.
has to be interesting for the company because it's money to them.
It's a lot.
But I think technology is gonna help us, Joe, because
Oh,
what we are doing right now, the
Mm.
three of us,
Mm.
is basically radio.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
We couldn't ever think about doing a radio 10
True.
years ago without a radio station.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like maybe at some point that technology will break through into the other industries as well.
But I think that there are a platform Ganjalo. There was this series I was watching. A lady was recognized by a publishing company through her Twitter posts.
Oh,
So she wrote a book on Twitter,
okay.
and then they took that book and then they published it. They made it a book.
Most
Nice.
artists and music actually
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out like
That's
that.
how they made
Yeah.
it.
Just
Abo
post something on
Umlindo.
Facebook, and then artists
You
are
trend.
like, "Please find me this guy."
Yeah, we've
You know.
all seen Umlindo Bafit.
A lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Guy was singing with some other guy piano. I can't even remember whose song he was singing. And
Yeah, yeah.
now he's a big artist.
Yeah,
You see,
thanks-
so
thanks to
basically,
technology.
technology does play a major role. Eh?
Mm.
Does
Yeah,
ma-
but
it either makes a career or breaks it.
Yeah,
True.
It's a two-way street.
yeah.
Breaks
You know.
it. Explain on the breaks it.
Like
They will
on the break.
cancel you.
Yeah,
online.
one moment
Yeah?
they'll find a Twitter 20 years ago, like
Oh.
Sbusiso must fall, cancel,
Okay.
and your
Smuda
career
must
like that is
fall.
gone.
Gone.
Yes, sir.
Look at the likes of allegedly,
Mm.
I want to be correct here.
Mm.
Allegedly, DJ Fresh and DJ
Oh,
Fresh
yeah, yeah,
raped
yeah.
someone.
You
know, On that case, immediately career is on the verge.
I mean, look at
True.
this job.
And I said allegedly.
Yeah,
I
same
said
thing.
allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Don't come
You
to me with
didn't
your
say
lawyer.
things.
Allegedly,
yeah,
yeah,
don't say things.
No,
Yeah.
it does. Honestly,
You know.
it does. It really does. Eh?
Yeah, but when I think Maranayo, social media is a problem to what we are talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot of young people, it has replaced actual reading
Definitely.
and
yeah.
the richness of
Mhm.
information online compared to on a book.
So
It's not the same.
would you say you are for social media or against?
He's totally
so-
against. I'm not
Why?
gonna waste your time.
I'm not even gonna say I'm against the social
just don't
media.
like it.
You don't like social media.
I don't like it for my personal use.
Why?
Yeah.
Why though?
I don't get the point.
Like how?
What am I doing online?
Okay.
Okay, maybe it's the type of person I am. I'm a bit private.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I like to keep things
Private.
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 So I
But you
when I
you
have a Facebook account, the
Mm.
only thing I do, I just go online and look at other people's posts.
Okay.
So it's a waste of time.
So, but like the thing is now,
Mm.
it's always, even if you can be private with your life. I'm here. I'm social media.
Mm.
Sure,
I'm private about my life.
sure.
Most people, okay, if you go to my profile,
Yeah.
I'm still in secondary school, bruh. Yeah.
According to
According to my profile. Even if I get a job, probably I'll take a picture on my work suit and It's out there.
I mean, I don't even. No, I'm fine. Joe.
Yeah.
I don't get the point for me personal.
Okay.
And I feel like it swallows time for other things as well.
Oh, okay.
So I'd rather invest.
Personally, I have a different view from you.
I do have Twitter, but I don't use it that much.
I have a different view, and I'll tell you why. As much as there's the bad part of social media, there's a lot of bad stuff. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of good stuff. I agree.
There's also a good stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like the bad also outweighs the good, at some point.
Yeah.
But I feel like personally, as a person, I was able to grow a lot through social media. Like what I saw. Like, for example,
the people you followed.
The people, not just the people I follow, but like what's trending at that moment.
Yeah.
Reason why I'm saying that, I learned a lot about having your car being retrenched.
Yeah.
Losing your job through someone posting. So
the
kind of situation that they went through actually educated me. With, maybe I shouldn't do that. Because I remember this other girl, she reflected on how she made the mistake straight out of varsity, buying a car, buying an apartment, and that kind of got her into debt. And then a lot of people also started reflecting. That whole thread. I think Twitter does
that. Twitter does that.
As much as
Twitter does
it does
because it even with marriages, you know, everyone
people post there.
But the thing is now the difference between Twitter and Facebook, it's totally different. You know, for Twitter, I feel like it's more mature kind. As much as there are jokes here and there, but they are more mature. You know, and then there are clowns on Twitter, and they're more direct. Bro, they don't waste their time.
One thing I've noticed about those clowns, they're very smart.
Definitely,
they're very smart. Honestly, like the way they grab attention, the way they create.
Well, I'm not using Twitter. Why am I even saying
but you have an idea. I feel like you're speaking on behalf of someone who's not really onto social media, but at least you have an idea. Even on Facebook, I feel like you do.
I'm using Facebook, Anna.
Yeah. I do. I feel like Facebook is more like, I don't know, it's like a platform for people to. It's similar to Instagram, but it's without pictures.
I think Facebook, it's you normally interact with people that you know in real life.
Yeah, not necessarily in real life. Probably you know them.
Yeah, even if you're not close to them. But I know my Facebook friends more or less.
Yeah,
I tweet at you. Anyone who follows you, you follow back.
That's it.
And that's the community.
That's
why people are more straightforward, because there are no repercussions in real life. I will tell you crap, I don't know you. I will never meet you.
Yeah.
But when it comes to social media, especially Facebook, so much training needs to go through your mind. You know what I mean? You need to constant, because I know what I've noticed on Facebook, especially like when it comes to, I'd say, girls, a lot of people post stuff that are not really them in a way. They just post it probably just to be funny, right? And then
trying to be relevant.
It's like someone you know what I mean, chilling with, cuddling with babe, but that person is gonna post on Facebook, ashiswani na matot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're not really mentally stable to actually understand what this is
a joke.
You
will follow every trend.
You know what I mean? It's the same as how Beyonce went on studio and sang ladies and then went back home to her husband. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you're not able to filter
I think it comes to, you know, it's more like the more likes you get and the more reactions you get and the more comments you get, it releases dopamine in your brain. It makes you feel happy. So basically most people, that's why they pretend to be clowns, or they just prefer to be clowns. It's because it makes them happy, it makes them relevant, you know.
People
I mean, like if I get 50 shares, I'm like, yeah, my God, I'm a celebrity. You know, it worked, and I'm gonna keep on trying to bring more jokes. You know,
give them what they want.
At the end of the day, that's why there's a reputation of a post. If you look at Facebook, especially with jokes.
In a sense, everyone on Facebook is an author.
In a way, they are.
No, there's plagiarism. There's plagiarism going on there.
Even real authors do that.
In other intersection, you know what I mean?
So we are all writers on social media.
Yeah, at some point, you know,
that makes all of us readers on social media.
That's the thing.
Basically,
you know, there's one friend of mine. I follow his Facebook. Banela Matigan.
Okay.
He's my primary friend. Yeah. That guy, in fact, he posts whatever he thinks is correct and he defends it.
Okay.
And whoever comes to him, he's going to fetch facts. I recently read his post about the Tembisa hospital. There's a nurse saying they shouldn't complain about nurses' negligence and stuff and stuff. I'm like, but the guy was like, hey, Baba, your nurses, they treat people badly. And then he referenced Tembis Hospital with the guy who died,
I remember.
I think.
Yeah,
he referenced that the story. 104 hours, imagine. He referenced that story. And the lady was like, yeah, but not all of them. Was like, now that you're saying not all of them, that means you've lost. Because you've never been to all the hospitals and seen the treatment. So and he was saying a lot of people die in the hands of esbedlela.
True.
And you go to esbedlela, you're seeking help, and then at the end of the day you die. So such things, I think they help kulabo who don't read much.
Actually, you remind me why I remained using Twitter. I was using Twitter because I don't watch the news.
It's relevant.
Like, I'm gonna get my updates online.
True, you do.
It's not always factual, but at least I get a sense of what's happening. I don't have time to read or watch
you
the
guys,
news.
You guys should tell me. Are you guys taking the vaccine? Because I'm changing. Are you gonna take the vaccine? Or you still believe the?
I think I am
5G.
I am gonna take the vaccine.
5G is gonna kill you.
I feel like in my own myself, I'm gonna take it, and I think the reason why is I wouldn't complain or cry or be concerned about my health or privacy or all those kind of things, because you know why, already, I mean, we go to hospitals, they recommend a prescription to take this medicine, and you don't even know what's gonna happen to your body when you take this, right? But you're taking it, right? So I feel like had it been the case that I was meant to probably, I don't know, go through some mutations in my body through medication, it would have long happened. Just think about how long have you been taking amatispring?
Orama vaccine.
You know what I mean?
This is not the first one you are taking.
You know what I mean? So this one is not the first one.
What is the fear with some vaccine? What are people scared of?
There's so many conspiracies around it. Because some say Bill Gates, allegedly.
But this is not Bill Gates' vaccine.
But he has
Pfizer has no connection to Bill Gates.
True. Because I think there was some video I saw on Facebook. They burned Bill Gates when it comes to Oma vaccine because he had the agenda. So now that he he's heading this vaccine thingy. In fact, he's heading this corona thingy. He's telling us the biggest war that we're gonna face.
Really?
We don't know. I don't know.
He has opinions. There's strong, educated opinions. On the pandemic. But is he leading anything? What is it doing?
But he does invest. He
on
does.
what?
He's
a philanthropist through his wife, Melinda.
Yeah, but
Melinda
Foundation.
Do they do anything for COVID specifically?
They are.
Because I know they contributed a lot to malaria
and India.
You know the Bill Gates story. The reason why it's so controversial, is because as much as he's claiming, I'm just gonna say claiming that it's good for society and all those kind of things. Okay, thank you, we appreciate that, right? But then when it comes to manufacturing a vaccine and you're saying it's safe for the community and you're trying to probably, I don't know, get rid of malaria or whatever. Okay, fine, we appreciate that. But the problem comes in with, okay, I take it, I'm from Africa, right? I take the vaccine, but also do me a favor, take it. And then it's going to be a thing with, no, I'm fine.
You see, that's the problem. That's the same thing.
That's the same thing. That's why I'm not scared of this one. Because if Pfizer
the CEO
manufactured
said
the vaccine, the Americans are already taking that.
But the thing is,
so I'm not scared of this one.
The CEO, he said, in an interview, like a Skype, I think it's a Zoom interview. He said he is 50 years old. He is strong enough. He cannot take the vaccine.
You see, that's where it becomes questionable. Because
that's what he said. That's a clip I saw.
Worse,
Hey, Maranabo Labanta Baenza my clips, do you trust all of them?
You see, that's the thing. You need proper
fake
sources.
News.
Source.
Fake news do happen. But also, it comes back to the thing. If you're going to manufacture a vaccine in America and you want to test it in Africa,
it's another thing. It's another
It raises
story.
that conspiracy thing.
But how true is it that they tested it here? Okay, but this is the process
even the Pfizer, I think. Wait. There's a country, I forgot, Ireland or something, where they... 23 or 24 people died because of it, but I think the people who died were old age and some of them were sick.
Okay, but look Joe, that is gonna be true for any sort of medication. It's over side effects. Not all of us are gonna be safe ngale vaccine.
Sure,
that is true. However, a very large percentage of us are gonna be helped by the vaccine.
That's why it's very important. I think it's very important for even before you take the vaccine, your blood type. you know, because there are blood type that reject some of the medication. You know, I think where I don't want to where you know, the people the doctors they did take the what you call
The
blood
vaccine.
types blood type of people before actually giving the
And
stuff.
how
You know,
does that help?
Yeah,
But like
apparently there's a
how-
body. If your antibodies. Now,
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure about this. Anyone who's a medical whatever doctor or practitioner, please give us some feedback on
Yeah.
that. But obviously, I'm antibodies. So the moment you
Sure.
give, let's say, because the moment I say it's a vaccine, right?
Mhm.
I'm injecting you with the virus.
Yeah, you are. You
Yeah.
are.
So some
So-
antibodies do fight that, and some, you know, I don't know what's going on in a body because I'm
Well,
not.
I think
So you're saying
another
you would
dif-
recommend people to know their blood types before taking the vaccine?
I think any
It
difference.
depends. Yeah, well, with vaccine, COVID.
Yeah,
It's straight up. That means everyone can take it.
yeah.
But
yeah.
there are different type of vaccines that abantu bawathatha.
Yeah.
So yeah.
With this one, I think the difference is, in some vaccines we just take your shot and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This one, I think they said kuzoba nama
Two
short
shots.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, too
I think
short,
it's for stuff
it's
like
safety.
that.
Yeah,
man.
because let's say if you're gonna get another dose of your vaccine.
Yeah.
You know,
But
do
Nje,
you think
I
life will
think
go back to normal after vaccines, though? Like, do you
no.
think-
No.
Will it
then-
be the case with the stadium, Salah, you know, for
Okay, I think we
Are we
some things are gonna go back to normal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
some things I think maybe Sizori recognize which okay, some things were better during a pandemic. So we're gonna do them
a
that
lot,
way.
A
a
lot of
lot of
things
things are
just-
better during the pandemic.
Like I heard Abantu arguing whether people are gonna go back to offices or we're gonna start working from home.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. Maybe
So
kuzoba ne balance
it
between the
changes
two.
everything. That's why it's the fourth industrial revolution. Now.
Exactly.
Changes everything. The entire concept of it
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Aish.
Now
But
we
I
have
must say, guys, like a lot of things are better now during COVID than they were before.
like what?
I'd say the restriction on funerals.
Yeah. That's
Personally, I think, if I was the president, that would continue. Reason why I'm saying that is, you know, when it comes to like, let's say like arranging a funeral, right? The financial side of it, it's too much, guys.
Straight
Yeah,
in,
no.
It's too much. Having to feed like 500 people for
Yeah,
a funeral.
that's and it's not necessary.
It takes
actually.
away, most people who actually are going through that phase, it takes away the process of you mourning to you actually being
Yeah.
a financial advisor kind of a vibe.
And
which
having
Yeah.
to
now.
plan with asingatheng ama-beetroot meat well, you know what I mean, the expensive, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The financial stuff, it's very difficult, guys,
And
and I feel like
it takes away from
it
you.
takes away a
Don.
lot,
Yeah,
bro.
And
I
another
think 50 is much
even
better.
the thing of cooking. I think the
Mm,
sandwich and juice. Take
Mm.
the sandwich and leave. I just wanna mourn.
Yeah, I saw a picture on social media.
Yeah, I
The
just
juice,
wanna mourn.
That's
bruh.
it, right? I don't want to cook.
Thing
for
is
you.
now with the black community,
Mm.
it's always been like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Masses come and
we
send our goodbyes.
like
We are
to-
united in a wrong manner because
Yeah, we
when
like to
we
come
start businesses,
together.
they are not here.
Yeah,
When we start
true,
businesses, they are not
true.
here. But when my mom dies, they're gonna be here busy. Hey, your mom. Don't tell me about my mom. Support
Yeah.
my business now.
Yeah,
I want to in order when she's
Yeah,
sick, I want
man.
to take her to the hospital.
I get it.
You know.
Yeah. True.
Maranje, general, I don't think things are gonna go back to normal.
You don't think so?
I think, okay, I don't like saying this because everyone is saying it. There's gonna be a new normal.
New normal. Okay.
Yeah, some things are gonna go back to the way it was.
Okay.
If up tomorrow and
Mm.
this virus is gone,
Yeah.
I think sports is gonna go back to normal.
Yeah.
Because we want to go and watch
Mhm.
sports.
True.
Yeah.
I want
If
to.
groove is gonna go back to normal, churches
Yeah.
are gonna be full again.
Yeah.
But there are things that might not change.
Yeah.
I think some things will remain.
But
as
one thing I like about the one thing I liked about level 5. Let's
Mhm.
talk about level 5 before actually being on level 3.
Mm.
You get to spend time with your family.
Yeah.
And you get to spend time with yourself.
Exactly.
So you understood more about yourself. That's why you should. Our new normal won't be necessarily the normal that you know. The Vuyo you see now is not this Vuyo you saw.
Mm.
Like in level 5, I was completely different. Yeah, I was focused. I was like, yeah,
very focused without alcohol.
without alcohol, anything.
Sober minded.
You know, and you had to deal with your day to day. Like with man, just I'm waking up. I cannot go outside the gate because the virus is gonna take me on carpet gate into the
Mm.
shop.
if it's not the
but for
virus,
something,
the,
you know,
the
when
military.
you talk about level
Yeah.
5, for some people it actually wasn't that good, eh? I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
Because
it wasn't.
some people have been married like 15 years, 20 years.
They don't know each other.
Only now they're like, hey, can't do it now, Nje. You know what I mean? It's only coming now. So
Yeah,
I feel like for some
my
people,
cry is those who lost their income.
And those who lost their family, bro, I still cry. Especially my breadwinners. Most people lost my breadwinners.
That's a problem.
And nalaba losing savings.
But like, bro, like I've seen a lot of what worries me about COVID as well is that I've seen a lot of pastors who can predict and prophesy so many things about their lives. But COVID. None of the pastors actually said, January 2020.
TB Joshua told us that it was going to disappear on the 24th of March 2019. It's still here.
It's still here. None of the pastors
and we're probably going to hit the third wave, apparently. So the president said
it is
we could hit a third wave. But I don't understand how
this COVID thing really defied a lot of odds.
Who decides when the wave is finished now? It's like wave 1 is finished.
I think it's based on the trend. Like if infections
start growing again.
And
they start studying the virus again.
If it goes down, infections, then it comes back again, then it's another wave.
It's another wave.
Something like that.
I feel like the fact that there's no transparency in that stats for COVID makes it lose credibility because
it adds to the conspiracies as well. It does.
Because some people would walk around without masks, and I'm like, so are you willing to give yourself to something that you don't know, you can't see, and it's gonna kill you? Because I've heard an experience where I know some people that had or contacted the virus, and they tell you
it's not fun.
Even on Twitter there was a trend which I got the virus and I don't feel the same. My body feels like different.
True.
So and then the people there's no virus here. But there are people telling you this thing is real.
But a year later, people should know that it's there.
But
I think we personally know it now because we know one or two people that either have COVID or died of it.
COVID.
You know what I mean? Because now, Nami, that's when I saw it now. This thing is
real. Bro.
A friend of mine got it early, man. I think it was before June last year. And it was like, Chief, I can't smell, I can't taste. What is this thing?
Doesn't it worry you? At some point during December or 2020, you probably had COVID, but you weren't noticing. You know what I mean? You thought it's just the COVID, you know what I mean?
I had that thought. Hey, what if I already had that thing?
Because you don't know.
Because you don't know where it comes from. For some people, it doesn't even show symptoms.
At all.
What if I was one of those?
Some people have actually came into contact.
Stay away from you.
Some people came into contact with positive people but tested negative.
Definitely, most people.
I think when it's outdoors, the chances of you getting it are lesser. I think it's
indoors,
something like 24 times more.
But
transferable
here's
indoors.
The controversial part, which most people don't even understand, and I think myself I don't. What's the point of entry for you to say you have COVID now?
I don't know.
What is it? Because you can have COVID now, and I just, you know what I mean, touch your
shoulder. That's why they said you have to have quarantine yourself.
Airborne, I've heard.
So if you breathe in, I breathe out.
But then how does it come to me, personally?
I don't know, Joe. I really don't know.
It's confusing even now, but they don't know.
We should know,
because
but
we're covering wear a mask. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to limit the point of entry inside. But even your ears is a point of entry.
Yeah, because you can touch your ear and then touch something else, touch the surface.
Your skin has pores that, you know what I mean? There's a lot.
And that's why they said we should touch our masks, because you can touch your mask and then you leave the COVID in your hands. You touch Vuyo's hand, and then now Vuyo has it on his hands. He touches his mask, goes through to Vuyo as well.
And then I touch my nose when it's itching.
Yeah, and then Vuyo now has it.
Now
it's tricky. This COVID thing has really changed.
It must end. Can we just all take the vaccine and let this go?
Now, I'd take the vaccine. I've seen a couple of people take it as well.
Thomas.
Yeah, no, if you die,
I'm gonna take it, Joe.
Yeah, please, can I cover you when you take it?
Yeah, it's cool. Even for
I'm
the
sure
second one.
Right?
Yeah,
what
if you're afraid that I couldn't go?
There's always sometimes and I take the vaccine and I'm fine, and then when you take it, you have problems.
Yeah, problems.
So there's no guarantee.
I feel like if I was the first one to take it amongst the three of us, Hey, I'd give you guys like a funny hard time, eh?
I
Must
know,
be
man.
more money it,
Me
you know.
This guy just
Me too.
Just
I will
DJ.
tell you, Joe,
Yeah.
I can't see, Joe.
yeah, jokingly
This thing
said.
messed up my eyes.
Hey.
Just so you're scared.
And now I start posting on Facebook, and then that starts trending now.
Just
Hey.
imagine after taking the vaccine, eh,
Yeah.
I'm driving and I'm like, oh, Jets, I can't see.
What?
What happens after that? You know what I mean?
Brian,
Yo.
you know, you remind me of that
Echo,
joke.
Echo, get off the road. Stop. Let's get another drive.
Yeah. Hey.
Yo. Like I'd have a funny
It
time.
really-
I'd just
it
jokingly,
really-
you know, cause a havoc amongst you guys and say, yo,
Gents,
we're-
I think we're almost an hour in.
Yeah. You guys.
Let's think about ending it now.
all right.
Nah, the thing is, you guys talk a lot. Eh?
A lot,
Actually, we talk
I've
too much.
noticed.
Joe.
I've noticed.
Oh, about reading, guys.
You know?
About reading. What authors would you suggest, business-wise, even if it's not business?
Business-wise, any South African author.
Any.
Yeah, any
Who's-
South
who,
African.
like, DJ Sbu?
DJ Spoo also has an idea.
Yeah.
Vusi Mbegwa also has an idea.
Yeah.
A lot of the JSE guys like Boma, the Stellenbosch boys,
Yeah.
your Johan Rupert and all those kind of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Although
Oppenheimer,
they are the Donald Trump of South Africa. I feel like
Yeah, they
I'd
had.
recommend you because they'll talk about, you know, the reason why I'm saying that.
They started
Don't-
from somewhere. They didn't start from the bottom.
Exactly, but also they would talk about problems that you can also face. Like, for example, Johan Rupert who owns like wineries and stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
He can probably tell you that one of my businesses failed because of a strike. You can relate.
Yeah, you know
You
what
know
a
what I mean?
strike is.
So-
You
Someone
can
say-
relate. Or one of my businesses
Who
failed
else?
because of politics. You can relate.
Who else? I had.
There's
an
quite a
idea.
lot.
Business,
Mutipe
I
has,
really have
Mutipe
not.
released
This
the
is
book.
very private. I have never seen. As
I've
far as
honestly
I'm
not
concerned,
never read a business
Does he
book
even
by
give
South African.
talks?
he doesn't.
He doesn't give talks.
He doesn't. Only if it's like your, you know, your
Sponsorship.
socio-economic stuff, your G20,
Yeah, so
you
he's
know,
basically there for the
Africa.
money.
Yeah, but not just for the money, but I feel like he's just there to talk. But yeah, a lot of the things that he talks about, we can't relate, Tina, on the floor. Like
Yeah.
people
Did
down here.
Did Maponya release the book? Because I know his story.
Maponya,
I think someone wrote something about him. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure if he himself wrote.
Maponya must have written a book. But yeah, I actually it makes sense for you to say that someone
Yeah.
wrote a book. I feel like
Because-
also he had a good story.
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying.
I'd read Maponya over Trump, over
Yeah,
Yeah,
Richard
definitely.
Branson.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Richard Branson, I read a lot of his books, but
Ah.
honestly, they
And
didn't take me.
Funny part
like,
is he's way different than his daughter.
who
He has a daughter. I forgot her name.
Richard Branson or Maponya?
Richard Branson.
Oh, okay.
Richard Branson. Her daughter, like Richard Branson,
Mhm.
didn't like school,
Mm.
but the daughter, I think she's pursuing. If she doesn't have a PhD, she's pursuing it.
Nah, he
Oh,
didn't like school
okay.
because he had a disability, so that's why.
Yeah.
Or dyslexia. I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah.
dyslexia.
So now, which one would you? I don't know.
Business.
Not
Joe.
business wise. I don't know. You're not into business.
There's a book I recently read. I don't
Mm.
know how to classify it. It's not a self-help book per
Yeah.
se.
Yeah.
By a Canadian psychologist,
Uh-huh.
Jordan Peterson.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's called 12 Rules for Life,
12
Okay.
rules for life. Okay.
an antidote to chaos.
Wow.
Okay.
That's hectic. That's deep, yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, it's
It's-
psychological.
It's
So what
good
was the
stuff.
highlight of
It's
the book
good stuff.
in your own opinion?
It's 12 rules for life, Joe. Like
Uh-huh.
basically rule number one goes something like stand up straight with your shoulders back.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't just touch the surface of
Mhm.
you physically standing up. He also talks about psychologically standing up for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he
So
coaches you on how to
would you
think.
say like out in Jessica's you would read that?
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Now,
Anyone, Joe.
Yeah.
Anyone
as long
would
as
read
it's
it.
Only one
fairly
book?
Relatable.
Huh?
Only one book.
I have a novel that I would recommend South
Yeah.
Africans read
Mhm.
by Fred Khumalo. There's a South
Mhm.
African writer called Fred Khumalo.
Yeah.
I think the name of the book is Dancing with the Death Drill or something like that.
Mhm.
I'll write the
Yeah,
name
yeah.
of the book on the
Mm.
On the
description.
description.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Very fun novel to read.
Nah, I mean, my
South African
simple,
stuff as well.
simple
Wow.
books. The Infinite Game. Simon Sinek. Don't just read it in a business mindset.
Mhm.
Sure.
Also read it in your life's mindset. That
Ah.
every project that you do,
Mhm.
anything that you do, make sure you push it, even if it could be the longest time, but
Mhm.
kancane kancane uzozofika la uyakhona.
True.
And if you want to find more, try the Alchemist by Paulo
Alchemist,
Coelho.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and the Bible.
The
Start
Bible,
from the
obviously.
Genesis. You know, some
And
people.
what do you think about people who write stuff based on the Bible?
Well, obviously they have their sort of revelations. That's why they interpret it in their own way. You know.
True.
So basically, that's one thing. There's this pastor. I think it's a bishop, Tudo Bismarck.
Oh yeah.
From Zimbabwe. He said, preachers, they don't preach the word of God. They preach their interpretation of the word of God.
Yeah,
okay.
You know. Yeah. So
I was just asking if maybe you have anyone.
I feel like another thing. No. I feel like a lot of people haven't really tapped into this. I feel like, the best way to grow this reading industry.
Yeah.
You know how people like watching Isba and like Gomorrah and all those
stuff.
Sure. How about if someone actually wrote a book instead of you watching it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just imagine.
That is why I'm trying to quote a South African
Gomorrah.
fiction. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like instead of watching it.
Yeah.
But the authors. Yeah. This episode will be long. Now, guys. Hey, cut. Unless you. God.
In Nabangit, we're all over the place. Anyway.
Yeah, now we're talking. But no. That's a good idea. Especially when you're talking about authors about Pala, especially a telenovela.
Yeah.
Those guys really do their work.
Oh, another short stories. Do you guys read short stories? I think that's another way to get into.
I love short stories.
Have any one of? Did you guys read Can Thema?
I used to.
There's a writer called Can Thema.
I remember that guy.
And there's a short story called The Suit.
Connor, there's the train. I think the train.
Ah, boy, you should read The Suit.
Yeah.
That thing is something else.
Anyway, guys.
It's not more than 5 pages.
Yeah.
But
but anyway, guys, it's always nice having conversations with you. Unless we want to make an episode here, 6 hours here. It's gonna be the longest.
Let's wrap up.
Yeah, please, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And again, you can find us on social media as the Symposium Podcast. And soon we'll be rolling in merchandise. Soon, Scout Orange. I'm just giving it out there. And then again, we have our precious guest.
My goodness, a precious gift. So much pressure.
Yeah, aka Sbu.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me, James.
Yeah, man. You can find him on social media as.
You guys can find me on social media as Sbusiso_Ace. Facebook, it's Sbusiso Ace Twala.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Sharp.